Hello, Amba. Thank you so much again for joining me in my podcast.
Hi, yeah, this time we're in a very
We're
different setting. We're
yes,
at the United Nations.
we're at the UN, and so I know this is like circling back on as far as you're concerned because you started your public career here at the UN, isn't it?
Yeah, as a foreign service officer, this was my first substantive post. Actually, I started in San Francisco, but I was there only for a short while.
Uh huh.
Then they transferred me to the mission. They said that I was underused of the consulate.
Uh
Anyway,
huh.
to make a long story short, it's really very good for a junior officer to be immersed in a multilateral environment,
Such as the UN.
such as the UN. And when I entered the UN, that time,
Mm.
it was 1990. Those were really, I would say, very historic times. No? So that's the time that Yugoslavia disintegrated.
Uh huh.
Then the then Soviet Union became 15 countries. No?
Yeah.
Russia's the biggest one. Germany united. So there was a lot going on. And if you're a junior officer, and you're in the midst of all of these global events happening. No?
How old were you then? If I may ask.
I was in my 30s that time.
Oh, batang-bata.
I was in my 30s, right?
Wow. So, alam mo, I have a question on this, yung this integration of like the USSR. And then we had our people power. Hindi, tama ba ako na they were inspired by the Philippines EDSA uprising? Kasi we were in 1986 di ba? Yung EDSA. And then in the 90s, ayun na, nagkaroon ng democracies everywhere. Were we an inspiration? Was the Philippines an inspiration?
Yes, they cited. But at that time, they had a very Western-centric approach to history. They look more at what happened in Berlin.
Yeah, Germany.
When the wall crumbled,
Yeah.
and President Reagan said that, break the wall, right? It all start, as far as they're concerned, all of this breakups that happened in Yugoslavia, happened in former Soviet Union, and the integration, or I would say the unification of Germany, was because of that Berlin Wall.
I
They
see.
all ascribe it
So
there.
hindi pa, but you can say na hindi yun inspired ng Philippines. It's really more European by
That's the
color,
way.
by
That's
nature.
the way the media at that time. Yeah, because I was here in the US at the time. It was the way international media, even US media, interpreted it. And there was no internet yet at that time.
Oo.
So
Meron na
globally,
email.
global events was primarily more to a Western lens.
I see. Wow. So sa'yo naman, nung nandito ka na, ano ang feeling mo? Was it a very different kind of high? Like you are in a very high position.
Oh, honestly,
social
I
platform.
was awed by all of these changes. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I started in the foreign service, when I was attending SCOP meetings, that's the UN ECOSOC in Bangkok.
Yeah.
So we were talking about economic matters. But even if you're talking about economic matters, the Cold War was really very visible during those meetings. You had the pro-Western countries, you had the so-called Nana Line, then you had countries that were pro-Soviet, right? So every issue sometimes had the Cold War dichotomy.
I see.
Oh my God.
So sino ang mo po, mentor who was guiding you all throughout the journey dito sa work na ito?
Yeah, I'm fortunate that I had very good mentors. In the department, I started with the UN international organizations.
Uh-huh.
So I was there for 3 years before they posted me to San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
I was with really, I would say, veteran multilateralists. So they taught me the ropes, no?
Uh-huh.
Kasi one of the more important things is you should read a lot, you should
Yeah.
research a lot before you write,
Of course, yeah.
right? So in other words, it's because in the UN, what we do when you're doing your own service, you learn how to draft speeches, right? You learn how to draft position papers. In other words, you really have to research, di ba? So that it's something that
May
really,
substantial maisulat.
yeah, and at the same time, try to identify where is the Philippine national interest,
Right,
di
right.
ba? It's not a matter of just mimicking what are the position of other countries. No? Kasi that's, kung tamad ka, that's the easier way of doing it, di ba? But try to identify what is the national interest of the Philippines in that. It all started there.
So how long were you at the UN for as a career
3
diplomat?
years ago sa DFA, I was with the UN and other international organizations. We were the ones who service all the multilateral posts like New York, Geneva, Vienna, Bangkok, London, to a certain extent, in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya.
So, in a scale of 1 to 10, ano ang level of your enjoyment? Enjoyment muna and then learning.
Learning.
Yeah.
Siguro the learning was higher than the enjoyment.
Yeah?
A lot of pressures. Yeah, it's really a lot of pressures.
Oh.
And a
So,
lot,
ano yan? 10 ba yan? 9 ba yan?
well, sa learning, mga 9 yan. No? It's really high kasi you learn a lot. No? When it comes to enjoyment, 7, I would say 7.5, primarily because you can travel. I mean, that was the perk. You can travel.
Yeah.
But the preparation is something else. No?
So, at that time, were you already having a family and the children were like back and forth?
Yeah, the children were still young, so it was hard. It was hard. I would say I had to do some of the work late in the evening, no? So that I can just meet the deadline the following day. Remember when I started in the foreign service, we don't have laptops.
Yeah. So, ano pa? Computer?
There were already computers, but it was so difficult. Yung the word application that we used was WordStar pa, no?
Yeah, oh my God, I remember WordStar.
It was so difficult. So many, you have to use so many preparations just to even have a comma. Or,
Yeah. So you have to run to your desk talaga and work on
the
the
easiest
big
way we
computer.
did it that time, we had a pool of really typists in our office in the UN. No? What we do is talagang you handwrite.
Mag-draft.
The first draft, type mo sa kanila. No? Tapos doon
Then
na
edit.
hindi pa uso yung cut and paste no sa computer, but we do it literally, yung cut and paste. You come out with it, kasi kakat mo yung magandang portion, you put it on paper, then you really tape it with yung transparent tape.
Oh my God, ganun?
That's the way we did it.
Oh.
Now, if it's acceptable to your boss,
Kung hindi maarte ang boss.
hindi sabihin natin, okay to, no? In-okay nyo na yun, finalize na sa mga typists, then it comes out.
So it takes time.
It takes time.
It's a lot of technical background work, right?
And a lot of support from the staff.
Yeah. Amazing. So,
Di katulad ngayon. You don't even have a secretary if you're an officer, no? You do everything.
yeah, magsulat ka nga sa cellphone eh.
Dati nga, we even stencil yung mga namin eh. Kasi the way to duplicate it fast is to stencil mo.
Right.
Come out with mimeograph copies, di ba?
Oh my God, yeah, I remember stencil as well. So now, jumping into the now, you are a UN representative for Women's Federation for World
Yes.
Peace. So, is this personally for you like also a coming of age that you're with a women's group? Or it's not really something new to you because you've always been...
No, the work itself, no, the nature of the work is not
Yeah.
something new. It's like me going home. That's how I feel about it.
Uh-huh.
The issues of just veering towards more women issues, I've handled that because early in my career here
Yeah.
as a division with the UN, I handled the third committee which dealt with women issues
Okay. At that time.
at the
In
time.
1990.
Yeah. And I was also with the committee on NGOs. And we were dealing with issues relating already to lesbian and gay,
Oh yeah.
LGBT. Those were very early days.
Personally sa'yo, was it easy to listen to? Or did you have to struggle also to come to terms with accepting that
I don't
issue?
know. I think my, my basic education and college education, I was educated by the Jesuits.
Yeah.
I think gave me an open mind. I was open to all social issues.
Uh-huh.
Anything that is for the common good, diba?
Uh-oh.
That's something that I could accept.
So dito na with the Women's Federation, is there not a difference? Is it like just sustaining the entire struggle for women's rights?
Yeah, it's primarily a human rights issue in the first
Yeah,
place,
yeah.
right? And the role of women in society has evolved. It's
Yeah.
really
Can you
evolved.
see the difference in the 1990s and now?
I can see the difference.
Uh-huh.
Women are more assertive now.
Yeah.
And one thing I realized, most NGOs are led by women now.
Oh, yes, yeah. The leaders are women,
That's
right?
right.
Mostly.
And even the diplomatic corps,
Mm-hmm.
many of the diplomats are women diplomats.
Amazing. So why is that, Amba? Why do you think na nag-step up ng kababaihan? Para bang, is it, this is the result of our persistence? Our meaning included ako dyan?
As women,
Yeah, yeah.
are you creating a dichotomy between men and women?
No naman, but like the number of leaders showing up, is this a result of the overall global movement for women empowerment? Can you say
Yeah,
that?
that's number one. Particularly here in the West, I'm talking about the US.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful when you deal with women. That's why women's harassment started, right?
Uh-huh.
On the work side,
Yeah.
diba? Tapos na,
Yung mga sexual assault pa, lumalabas na.
that's right.
Oo.
So in other words, you have to be very careful, diba? Or not, you might have a problem at the work site, right?
Mm.
Or even just dealing with women in general.
Mm.
Unlike maybe in the 70s and the 80s, it's a very liberal attitude to that. And
Parang inalaw lang kasi.
no, it's actually the culture of people at that time. Kasi if you remember the sitcom we were watching during the 80s,
Yeah.
diba?
Masyadong bias at
Politically
against women.
incorrect if you watch it now, like Friends, di ba?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, right.
Di ba? It's
Uh-huh.
so popular, but
It's popular, but it's much better appreciated now, di ba? Compared to noon, I guess. So how are you now? Let me segue. Like your children, for example, like they're also empowered. They're mostly girls, right? Mga feisty girls, leaders then.
yeah, for one thing, they were educated in exclusive schools, no?
Yeah.
But sometimes, you'll be surprised when they're in exclusive school, they tend to be more assertive as women.
I know, right?
Then when you put them in an environment
Yeah.
that is mixed, no? Like when we transferred, when I was posted in London, it's really mixed.
Uh-huh.
They were familiar with boys, no? But
Yeah.
they were assertive pa rin.
Yes. So that makes you proud?
Well, I'm happy about it because they know how to handle boys.
That's so good to hear. Oh my gosh. So Amba, let me ask you on back to diplomacy. Alam mo our world is not getting better as I see it, no, as a journalist. Marami pa rin poor, the environment is getting more scary, yung mga natin, mga catastrophes are scary. On your end, as a diplomat, do you think that masyadong mabagal ang intervention ng bawat country and as a whole to really arrest these problems strategically, climate-wise, economy-wise?
I don't know. You know, I've been a diplomat practically all my life.
Yeah.
I've always believed in diplomacy. You know?
Yeah.
But the point is, the world is also evolved. You know, practically that I don't know. No, it might be a generational change. Sometime in the mid 2015, 2016, time, you know, and suddenly strong men became leaders. You know?
Yeah.
And there was a different role model of what a leader is.
Yeah.
And at the same time, electorate, parang kwan din eh, they started looking up
Nag-backslide.
and saying, well, one word you can use is backslide, but another is they have a better appreciation of strong men approaches to leadership. You know?
That's strange.
That's strange, right?
Uh-huh.
But actually, it played in a lot of countries, di ba?
Yeah.
Played up in a lot of countries.
Right. And so it's not good overall.
Yeah, I would say so because I'm somebody who really believed in liberal democracy. I mean, I grew up with that particular. It was not yet called liberal democracy. Maybe it was just democratic versus socialist.
Yeah.
But I live in that tradition. Now, when you see people starting to admire strong men leaderships,
That's disturbing.
it's something that still confounds me up to now.
Oh my goodness. Don't you think that the rise of dictators yung sinasabi mo mga in the 2015 and all that, this is like digitally inspired or driven, which is a super threat to humanity these days, yung AI, yung digital tech.
I would say that social media, to a great extent, you know, made people look at different modes of leadership and different kinds of news. No? That's when they started talking about fake news. They started talking about alternative facts.
Yeah.
Di ba? Before, when you talk about a fact, it's based on the scientific method, no? Di ba? And even journalists have a way of ascertaining what is factual, what is not.
Yeah.
But this time, it's more of a reader who looks at the fact, and then an alternative fact is shown, then he makes a distinction and says, no, I believe this alternative fact more than the fact that the media is telling me. So in other words, there is more choice on the part of whoever is immersed in social media. And, it's easier to be assertive when nobody sees you, di ba?
Oh, yeah, you mean hindi nakikita kung sinong gumagawa nun. Yeah.
And the fact that you can have an alias, anonymous names and all that. So even the concept of trolls
Yes.
came out because of that, no? And that really changed the political climate.
Yeah.
And when you have a free and democratic election, that affected the way people look at issues. Diba, before, sabi nila, it should be not personality-driven, it should be issue-driven.
Yeah.
It started with issues actually.
Yeah.
Then it boiled down to personalities this time.
Yeah.
Diba?
Right. And so now, alam mo, digital technology is kind of making people not distinguish information from insight or information from
Opinion.
interpretation. Yeah, opinion. So, mahirap, ano po. And you tend to adhere to what you like or what you believe.
That's amazing, no? Because I remember when the broadsheet or newspapers were still the main source of information.
Yeah.
And even I would say on TV news, no, you always distinguish before between what is news, which is usually factual,
Yeah.
and what is opinion.
Right. Opinion page. Meron
That's why
yan.
you have columns. No?
Yeah. May
These
editorial.
are mostly opinions, the same with editorial, which is the position of the newspaper itself. That was very clear to everyone. But with social media,
Wala na halo-halo.
opinion became news, and news became opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in other words,
And people have no framework, right? For like journalists would have the framework of what is fact and what is opinion, and we can quote somebody with an opinion. Pero public hindi ganon, hindi sila ganon. Walang alam sila mostly.
yeah, and of course, they're also guided by whoever is the role model. No? Kung ito yung role model nila, and this person starts talking this way, sabi nila, oh, tama siya. No? So he follows whatever is said by that person. No? That's one. No? And another thing, I think, is the concept of trust. No? I think the digital media, I think it bred a lot of mistrust
Yes.
in a lot of institutions and news that comes out
Media,
of what you call mainstream media or traditional media.
Right,
Diba?
right. I know.
So it's an element of trust, no? Do you trust the source?
As a government official then, did you feel na there was a distance, there was a trust issue when the surge of social media platforms became popular?
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
What happened is our public diplomacy program, for example, in the department,
Oh.
we don't have, we have to rely also on postings in the social media to know what's going on.
Okay. So naging source of info din siya.
It became a source of info.
I see.
Diba?
And
So in other words, for example, if you have an issue on OFWs in Kuwait or whatever, you just don't look at the news that comes out. You also look at what netizens, they call them netizens, are saying about the issue.
So you get to see their feelings towards it. No?
Public
Sentiment.
opinion became a very strong determinant of how politicians act.
Yes, yes.
And also how government officials act. So you have to be sensitive to public opinion.
So can you say that somehow that helped politicians position themselves properly according to people's preferences?
Well, they always say that they position themselves properly when they are on a campaign mode. But once they win,
Bahala na.
wala na.
Oh my gosh. But you're a diplomat and you're mostly outside the Philippines. How do you deal with, for example, you do not believe in the presidency of that particular time? Anong ginagawa mo as a diplomat?
No, if you're in government, you have no other choice but, just to toe the line,
Uh-huh.
Now, you can push for your position as much as possible,
Uh-huh.
But at the end of the day, the decision is still done by whoever is on top of you. Right?
Uh-huh.
You might come out with a very logical argument against this particular position or that.
Are your ideas being sought by the office of the president on certain matters?
Are you talking about the Department of Foreign Affairs?
Yes.
Yes, only on international issues usually.
Uh-huh.
National security issues, yes.
So they try to look for your opinion, but they eventually just decide.
But they still make the final decision.
Uh-huh. In the many presidents that you served, sino yung pinaka-tingin mo mabait at magaling?
I'll be biased, no? Kasi those who listen more to the Department of Foreign Affairs or to the position of the foreign service officers, are the ones we're more, I would say, close to. Like FBR, for instance.
Oh.
FBR, the father was a former diplomat, the sister was a diplomat, right?
Yeah.
So he understands the foreign service.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
So he's good to work with?
Yeah, he is.
Uh-huh.
He listens, no?
Nice.
The important thing is they know how to listen.
Uh-huh.
No?
Yeah, well, that's diplomacy, di ba?
Yeah.
Listen first.
And of course, also Noy Aquino.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way he came out with positions also. Right?
Yeah.
You listen to the department, no? Hindi lang yung usually presidents kasi they have advisors also on foreign affairs.
Yeah.
They also have the National Security Council, no? Which is, we deal with the National Security Council a lot, but at the end of the day, they're closer to the president.
Yeah.
Kaya their position is usually heard last before
I know.
before the president makes a decision.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Well, that's good to know that FBR and Noy Aquino were good presidents to work with as far as your experience is concerned.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. So, ano naman ang tingin mo, like we're heading, now let's go back to the UN, heading towards the Pact of the Future kind of theme na naman, should I say it's a theme sa UN. What is the thing that you wanted to be included to make very, very decisive changes na kailangan na talaga? Poverty, security, and climate issues.
One of the things I learned when I was immersed in the UN culture is a lot of good ideas are discussed here. A lot of papers come out, but it rarely reaches policymakers. It rarely reaches legislators. So it never matures, no? Not unless the idea becomes mainstream.
Yeah.
Ganun eh. But if you are somebody, who works here or who is immersed in the UN culture, and you understand some issues that people use, if you go to another field like politics, then it will be very helpful.
Yeah. Ang tingin ko kasi, Amba, yung mga tao dito sa UN, where most people are like visionaries, they look at the future, they envision. Long term. Pero the real battle is when you go down, kasi may politics na yan, may resources limitation. So it's hard to really like say na mag-lift mo na talaga ang economic situation, ang poverty ng mga tao, Philippines for example. On your part, are you doing some groundwork? Are you doing some projects down na Hindi ka na wala ka na sa nag-retire na po kayo.
Now, one thing I realized,
Yeah.
many of the things I do now,
Yeah.
particularly when it comes to STEM education,
Doon ka nag-focus.
yeah, it's easier to do it sa private sector side
Yeah.
rather than government.
Okay. Why?
Because if you have a good idea and you can sell it, you can get a grant, for instance. You can start having a pilot project. You can start testing the idea itself
Yes,
against
yes.
a real project. And so that's what is exciting about it. But if you're in government, I mean, the idea stops there.
Okay.
Sabihin nila, the usual
Parado na agad.
ang kwan dyan oh, we don't have funds for that. That's a good idea, but we don't have funds for that. It all boils down to projects. Like ito, we're talking about how do you fund all of these development projects. Diba?
Yeah.
But it always starts with feasibility studies. Diba?
Yeah.
It starts with, now sa feasibility study pa lang wala na.
Budget needed na.
Oo, di ba? If it doesn't, if the feasibility study is not done well, it won't prosper.
So in your personal case, you're working now with corporate people, private sector.
Yeah, private sector, not exactly corporate. They have corporate experience, but they're private sector people. They're more on science, they're more on technology. Yeah. Yeah, kaya nga I'm so excited when I was listening to the talk about finance and science and innovation, science, technology and innovation. Scientific concepts, theories that they are being taught in their textbooks.
So mga high school po ang mga
Our target are junior high school primarily. For the simple reason that junior high school students have not made up their mind what they will do when they reach college.
Yeah. So clueless.
You can still mold their minds, that's number one. And if you make them interested in STEM subjects, most likely they will be interested in pursuing a career there. Kasi what we lack are primarily science majors, math majors, mga engineering. We lack that. We have a few, of course. Kailan ba't we lack it? And we need, not really a lot, but we need, I think, a degree, a number of graduates in STEM that to really stay in the Philippines and help propel innovation in all of the industries.
Amazing. Sino po ang mga partners niyo dito?
Right now, it's like blended finance, sabi ko nga di ba? We started it.
Yeah.
We got a grant from the Korea Cooperation Fund. But even prior to that, we got a grant from the National Science Foundation.
I see.
Here in the US, more for the preparation of the lesson plans. Tapos then we got a grant from the Korea Cooperation Fund. It was more for the satellite broadband and dealing with underserved communities.
I see. Why did you choose this sector?
Underserved communities?
Yeah, or even the STEM and the underserved. Why did you choose to work on this project?
Because it's really a problem of the Philippines in education.
Yeah.
We lack that. We have a lot of college graduates who cannot find work simply because there are many jobs available, but they don't have the right qualifications.
Yun ang gap, ano?
Yeah, there's a
You've
gap.
seen that.
If you remember, even when we were talking about HLPF earlier, they were talking about those gaps, right?
Yes,
In
yes.
STEM.
Right. Oh, it's big. It's a big gap.
They mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
Particularly in emerging economies.
Yes. Particularly for the Philippines, because we don't see I don't see those gaps so much in advanced Asian countries, right? Like China or Japan. But us, we have that gap.
Yeah, that's one. And number two, it's sad because countries like Vietnam,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have more science and engineering graduates
Yun din
than
ang
we do.
emphasis nila eh.
Right? The same with Malaysia. That's also their emphasis. So we're lagging behind.
I know.
So it's a matter of how do you catch up with all of your neighbors? No?
As a wrap up, Amba, we know right now that the problem in the Philippines is like the capacity, the comprehension capacity of the young people is really problematic. Meron tayong learning crisis, sabi pa nga ng isang president of a school. So is this your effort to be of help?
I'll be honest with you. One of the problems we face is we really need to address also the reading and comprehension of the students.
Yes.
Yeah, because the science, no matter what you say, science, mathematics, technology, the language is still English.
Right. Oh yeah.
Diba? We're not done.
So that's also perhaps a factor for the gap, the
Yeah.
English facility.
Right. We're aware of that, no? So we are trying to work with some groups who will be more involved in that, no? Because that's not our specialization. Yeah, because most of the people in my group
Yeah.
are scientists, more in the physical sciences and the life sciences and engineering. No?
I see.
So in other words, that's not their cup of tea.
Yeah.
So you have to deal with really ones who are really involved in reading, comprehension,
Para pang
English.
basic masyado yan, no? Sa lower level talaga yan ng education.
Yeah, if you realize, no, one of the biggest problems of Filipinos when it comes to math, it's not the rote math, kaya nila yun, no? It is the word problems.
Yeah.
Do you remember that when you were in high school or
Yeah,
college?
yeah.
Di ba ang hirap nun?
Oo.
What really is it asking for?
Oo,
no? Kasi
yeah.
you cannot
I mean,
understand
you apply
the
the
question.
formula. You cannot apply the formula if
Yeah,
you don't
because
understand
you
the
don't
problem.
comprehend the question.
Yeah. Oh my God. Now I remember too. So yeah, it's a very mahaba na problema. And, institutional dapat.
Yeah, so that's one. No? So we really need an education secretary who will support that. I'm glad to hear that I think Secretary Angara is
Yeah.
looking at STEM, no?
Yeah.
Is seriously looking at STEM and at the same time is also seriously looking at providing internet satellite satellite broadband.
Yeah.
The main reason, no, kaya you have to go in that direction. There's so many areas in the Philippines na walang
Walang
signals. We don't have signals because it's so reliant on towers. And towers are so expensive.
Yeah.
That's why when you go to Mindanao, for instance, if you're in the city, you have broadband, bumiyahe ka lang sa next city, doon sa gitna, wala na.
Yeah.
Di ba,
So
when you're
there's that too,
traveling,
there's
wala.
digital gap.
Yeah, digital gap, that's right.
Marami
You
pa rin.
really have to address the digital gap.
Oh my gosh. So we have so much problems to solve. So in your observation, what can you contribute as of
Well,
now?
one of the things I learned is, as a diplomat, you always do this. Multi-stakeholder ang approach mo dapat lagi.
Okay.
You should involve everyone who's involved in that particular aspect. Like we deal with DICT, no? Department of Information. Because they're the ones in charge of connectivity. Diba? Then you deal with Department of Education for the curriculum. Then you deal with the local government. Kasi education is it's an autonomous area already, diba? Under the Government Autonomy Act, diba? Local Government Autonomy Act. So, the mayor has a say on that. Ito yung mayor, walang pakialam sa education, then you have a big problem.
Yeah.
He's also the chair of the local school board.
Yes. So you tap everybody.
So you need to really deal with all of them.
And I hope that can be like it has to be duplicated, replicated all over.
Yeah, and since we deal also with the indigenous people, we have to deal with the NCIP.
Yeah. So it makes it more holistic and fun actually, di ba, Amba?
Yeah, I mean,
Kasi hindi mo naman pwedeng ikaw lang the whole
everyone
world.
talks about addressing issues holistically. This is how you do it, no?
Yeah. Awesome. Wonderful. Now I can imagine that. This is how you do it when you say holistic. Amba, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, my
As
pleasure.
usual.
My pleasure.
Ang galing-galing. Marami akong natutunan. See you around at the UN, Amba.
Yeah, see you. See you around.
Okay.